Hello, welcome back to episode 290. I'm Mike, I'm here with Grizz, and this is Bad Taste Video. Yes, we're going to Japan again. February will be our Japanese horror splatter gore month. This week, we're kicking it off with Guinea Pig 4, Devil, Woman, Doctor, my second favorite guinea pig film. We'll eventually do my first favorite. That's going to be part 3. He Never Dies. That one is fucking awesome. Similar vibe to this. Comedy. Not some sort of like intense pseudo like torture porn type thing, but it still has the same, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like,
well, it has the same mystique as all the guinea pig movies do. You know, it still is part of the series that is notorious for the original couple of films, you know, confusing the original Japanese public, whether or not these were legitimate, you know, films that were being made or if they were actually entertainment purposes. So it falls in line with that lineage. But like you said, dude, this is more dark comedy, satire. This is really where this series falls into like my wheelhouse.
This is
where you said the first
slapstick
part 3 as well.
Yeah,
but you know, this really comes into it here for Doctor Devil, woman Devil Doctor.
Yeah, it's actually really funny how they decided after the second one to just fucking go like in this odd route, and then they kind of return. I guess the distribution company or production company or whatnot changed after this one, and then they do Mermaid in a Manhole and Android in Notre Dame. Yeah, those two are also, you know, they're not just like torture porn type things. They're actual films. They have a plot and everything, somewhat of a plot. The second one is the one that Charlie Sheen thought was real. That one is fucking a wild one. I do not own 1 through 3. I'm halfway there. I got 4, 5, and 6 on tape. I'm really looking for a copy of 3. I'll trade for that. Part 2, part 1. I'll eventually get them. I can wait them out.
Yeah, those are for sure. I could see where, you know, your favorite one. You gotta fucking put that.
It just never happened, man. I have the slipcase of part 4, which is actually it's very rare for Japanese, you know, VHS tapes to be a slipcase, and it's very rare to have them actually have all the flaps too, which is pretty cool. I feel very thankful.
That's minty too, dude. I like that. That's nice.
You know, it's got like a little bit of like sticker residue on the front, but it's
never see the fade from it though.
It didn't take away. If you're listening to this, I'm actually showing him the tape right now. There's still the artwork underneath it, so there is a possibility of me eventually
the blow dryer out, baby.
You know, I could try hitting it with the heat gun. We'll see if that works. I'm very nervous sometimes fucking around with that stuff because you can make things worse. That's why I learned to appreciate the rental stickers and all that sort of stuff, because it adds character to the tape and it kind of gives it like a little bit of a not like a lineage, but it don't matter to me. That's what I'm saying. That it doesn't matter. Oh, you want it?
Cross that shit out. Cross that shit out, bro. That's some fuckboy talk in my opinion.
You want a mint copy of that tape?
I mean, I don't want a mint copy, but if I have a copy that like, I mean, don't get me wrong, dude, a Blockbuster sticker is gonna fuck your day up.
Don't ever Family Video, Blockbuster, don't even try it.
I mean, although I have successfully gotten like some Blockbuster rental stickers off the covers with minimal rash. I mean, you're gonna get a small blemish here or there, but I would take that over a giant fucking sticker because those assholes at Blockbuster would just plaster over the best part of the artwork.
Yeah,
with those fucking stickers, dude.
I always found with like the Continental big boxes. So yes, Blockbuster at one time for whatever reason was renting out Continental big boxes, but they always managed to put that sticker like right over the fucking artwork. It's like why? Like if
I become like semi-professional at taking those fucking things off, dude. Time, patience, heat, low heat, not a hot. You know, you can't go too hot because it'll fucking wrinkle the cover artwork also. But a nice low heat, some patience, dude. Maybe a sharp thumbnail a little bit. Get the fucker going. You know, you get those things off.
What about the actual the security sticker on the tape itself?
Oh, on the inside? Yeah, I've gotten those off too, but they always leave a fucking residue. Always leave a
no matter what.
Weird fucking
fog.
Yeah, those I don't care about too much. You know, whatever.
I just, I guess it depends on the tape. You can kind of tell when it comes to the actual case itself, if it will come off or not. Depending on, say, like the gloss of the slipcase or not. Is it like a piece of shit, like third run discount release of something that has almost like a matte finish? Like if that thing's from the 80s. Like,
matte finish isn't coming off, dude.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell too if like the condition of the actual like the slip cover itself, if that cover has been like exposed to any kind of moisture before, you're fucking done. You're not gonna get that sticker off. Because basically that thin cardboard's already started to separate, and it's only going to take it's done for. So like it is a matter of like the condition of the box that you're getting it in, if you can peel that sticker off or not. I say don't fucking be afraid. Because you already got a fucking sticker on the thing. What's a little bit of fucking rash underneath of it if you can get most of it off? You know?
I think to me it depends on the tape. Like if it's something that's really expensive, like I'm not fucking with it because you never know.
Those are the ones that I fuck with, dude. Like that's
I don't want to ride the lightning.
That's the ones that I go for,
dude.
man.
I'm gonna end up tearing half the front apart, and I'm just gonna fucking just. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter for me because I don't get rid of my shit anyway. It all stays with me, so like it doesn't matter. In my younger years, I used to do that. Like, and when I would go thrifting, no matter what I found, if it was horror, I would take it and all that shit. I would trade them and everything. As I got older, I was like, okay, like I really don't need to have. I don't need 6 copies of Halloween 5. Unnecessary. There's probably somebody out there that wants Hellraiser 1 and 2. Like, I'll leave it for them. Of course, you take the fucking good shit. Like that's a no-brainer. Even if you have fucking a bunch of them, you still take the really good stuff, obviously. But holy fuck, man. I feel like my hoarding days are over. I'm very selective. When it comes to wrestling tapes, I'll take any wrestling tapes. But when it comes to
like even from when me and you first started fucking hanging out, you definitely have like 180'd on the your choices of like what you will, go ahead and pull the trigger on.
Yeah.
Back in the day, me and you were just like fucking running and gunning. Like if we saw it, we were fucking getting it.
Well, you know what? Like even say like 10 years ago, like it wasn't as expensive. You know what I mean? 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah. You're
not thinking twice about that. But like now, like a 5, 10, 15, $20 tape is what used to be $1 or 50 cents or whatever. Buy 5, get 1, whatever. Or buy 1, get 5. That was another thing that was back in the day. But I don't know. I feel like I have the space for it, but I don't want to fill it up with just things that I'll probably never watch, or I could just fucking stream them.
Just fillers,
Well, like bigger films, like shit, Back to the Future and stuff like that. Like I'll buy that on a Blu-ray. Like I don't really need that on tape.
Don't need the fucking VHS of that.
I want a good fucking 4K release of that. You know what I mean? Like I don't need a grimy looking fucking cut of Back to the Future Part 2. Like it's not necessary to me. Will I watch my shitty washed out first generation Wizard zombie tapes? Like, yeah, hell yeah. Like that adds like a whole other fucking
that helps almost in some aspects.
Yeah, but certain things I don't really need it on tape. I used to like really cling on to everything, but I realized like it's just an unhealthy thing to save every single fucking thing you want like that. It's just too much, man. It's too much.
You're growing. You're becoming an
up.
adult. This is awesome, man.
Well, now when you go
I'm
look at
watching my son grow up in front of my eyes and just become a man.
yeah, I still have 2 full legit like room walls filled with tapes that are like 3 deep. But now the stuff that I add to it is at least worth, keeping, or at least like showing somebody like, hey man, I got this. Actually, I don't even show you guys when I get shit anymore. It just goes in the wall. It's like the like Indiana Jones when they're putting the Ark of the Covenant in the warehouse. That's like
you have to replace one.
Well, that's like me putting the tape into the wall. Like nobody knows where that. Like, oh, somebody bought this on eBay. I wonder who has it. And it's just like me putting it into the wall, and you see like it just go. Yeah. Me walk away with the one light fucking like dangling. So before we get into this movie, I just want to say what's up to Brendan Timmons, Jane Doe from Tampa, Machiavelli, Alan Cantation, as per usual. What's up, my man? Sealed horror VHS tapes sell for a lot of money on eBay. My dude,
yo, what the fuck?
I have sold sealed VHS
you don't even want to
tapes
hear the fucking stories of the money that people
off of eBay. You don't even want to know. Yeah. You don't even want to know. And you know what's?
I'm gonna tell you right now, these people buying those sealed VHS tapes, getting them graded, that whole shebang is the beginning of the end, in my opinion, of a lot of like great things.
Here's my opinion. Bullshit. Here's my fucking straight up opinion on this, because I'm very realistic when it comes to collecting shit and stuff. I collected comic books since forever and all that, so I know the deal. You want to be a reseller? That's fine. That's up to you. It ain't your problem if people are getting mad about the prices. That's not your problem. It's the people that are paying it. That's it. That's all you can blame.
They are the problem. Why? 100%.
Dude, if I put $100 bill in one hand and a $1 bill in the other, which one are you going to take? Don't fucking lie to me. You're going to take the $100 bill every fucking time. I don't mind that shit. The fucking sealed tapes, if you want to get them graded and spend $5,000 on them or whatnot, go for it. That's all for you. It gives me another thing to go out and look for to sell, because I don't care. I watch my shit.
100%. Yeah, dude.
One thing I will say about the sealed tapes that I remember when it came to those fucking the Tales from the Quaded, those are all those sealed ones. They were moldy and they're sealed.
Yeah, 100%.
So you may get something that is 100% factory sealed, mint and everything, but that tape is mold and you're growing it. Yep.
Worth nothing. And it telling you right now, it happens more often than you fucking think with sealed tapes.
Oh yeah.
Just because it looks pristine, I'm telling you, the conditions that they were stored in are fucking damp, and they mold so easily.
It's like
I've been so disappointed opening a fucking brand new tape that I got on eBay or some shit, and it's ruined day one.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why I don't buy new tapes like that anymore. I want to see the tape before I buy it. I don't
because we watch our tapes. We weren't ever people that are gonna just buy a brand new tape and put it on the shelf for like a shelf queen or some shit, dude. That's just not.
Yeah. Hey man. But if you know what, you guys do you. If you want to just fucking buy them to collect and resell and all that shit, good. Because you know what, that makes.
I'm gonna give you a noogie, motherfucker. That's what's gonna happen.
Fuck that, man. I promote anything that makes this shit go up. I got mine already. Fuck y'all. But Grizz, this week, Guinea Pig 4, Devil Woman Doctor. I guess it's technically an anthology, right? It's multiple segments with a wraparound, sort of. We have a host, and that's going to be the Devil Woman Doctor, who you see on the cover and all the artwork and all that stuff, played by Peter, a drag performer from Japan that apparently is well known over there. That's pretty fucking cool to see. Like they're very. It's cool to see that. Like
I was suspicious, but I didn't know it until I looked it up. I was,
yeah,
I didn't know.
Well, dude, that shows like these people were just like doing their thing. They didn't give a fuck over there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this group that were making these guinea pig movies, like were legitimately just, they were living their lives, doing the movies they wanted to do. Yeah. Obviously, this is not something that's going to be played in a movie theater on fucking, Saturday matinee, but it's,
this is, dude, this is probably the best kind of horror anthology, where it's like it's a wrapper. It's not, I think you just said it's hard to even call it a wraparound story because it's more of just like a host that like is a part of all of like the stories in most cases, and I just think it's so much fun to like have this like especially in this like setup where we have a doctor, the devil woman, and she's basically gonna like showcase her different patients that you are gonna like see her different cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just that whole setup is just a great way to like have a story without putting too much story into these shorts. Like they can really just do wild shit and base it on a case file. And I think that just sets up like just a great premise for this whole thing to be built on.
Yeah, it's almost like a mockumentary mixed with like actual stories at points. Because some of the things are like more story driven and others are her either interviewing somebody or like kind of just showcasing the person or helping them in some sort of way. And as you saw in the intro, she's cutting open the fucking doll and like the blood is just shooting out and you know immediately what you're getting into as soon as you see that. And the first story, or I guess the first case that we have, is this family that has this syndrome where when they get upset or angry or whatnot, it causes their heads to explode. This is fucking awesome. They're also the most disgraceful family in Japan or whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
the way they make them upset is just like talking shit about each family member as like much as possible. Until the point where you get what we were just about to see right here.
Yeah, and all these segments are only a couple minutes long. It's very short. The whole thing is 52 minutes long. So, like, really, each segment, 5 minutes or so, right? There's, I would say...
Some are shorter, I think. It's a little longer, but around that.
Yeah, so this one is just them basically, like, showing this family off and then showing what happens when they get them upset. And they do something here that I find absolutely fucking hilarious, and you're going to know exactly what it is when it happens. So let me roll that clip. So this is the father.
You bald piece of shit.
They're cursing at him, and his head just fucking pops.
God.
The mom, you indigent. What'd you say? Her head explodes and goes on fire.
Oh,
you pretty baby. Are you an ape's baby? The baby's head fucking explodes. Oh my God. So as you can see, they don't give any fucks here. They're not holding anything back. It does not look realistic in any sort of way. If you watch this, you're not going to be fucking traumatized by like the baby or anything. There is no real baby at all in this whole thing. It just shows what kind of humor that they're going to have throughout this whole thing. It's very funny. The shit that they're saying to them, the one guy, they're calling him impotent and all that stuff. And that's what finally gets him like to go over the top and like his head like explodes. One thing that I will say is that at the end, they show somebody else who has a similar condition, but it's if she gets scared, her heart will explode.
Oh,
but
yeah.
she's been training. So, she should be safe until the devil woman doctor just kind of like spooks her for a second and her heart explodes. You see like the red in like her chest, like her shirt just becomes like,
Oh, that huge like it's like a fucking like a blood splatter like from inside of her blouse.
Yeah, and she just falls off the fucking chair. This is a great way to start the movie.
Yeah, I mean, to tell you what, like, to have, like, the opening fucking line of this whole segment be, hey, you bald piece of shit, it made me pop so hard, dude, and every time I fucking watch it, I'm just like, hell yeah, we're fucking getting into it now.
And he's wearing, like, a really obvious bald cap, like, with the fake hair. He almost looks like the fucking zombie in Dawn of the Dead that gets his head cut off by the fucking, the helicopter blades where he looks like fucking Frankenstein.
He looks like Japanese Frankenstein, dude. That's exactly what he looks like.
Evil Dead Trap is the best Japanese horror movie, dude. Just wait, we got shit that you're gonna.
Good.
Yeah, we got
maybe
stuff.
Not days, but we got some violent stuff coming up.
This movie is kind of like Video Violence 2 with the comedy. Yes, I would 100% say that you're accurate with saying that this is like a Japanese version of Video Violence 2. Well,
Yeah.
video violence too is like, yeah. Well, either way, it's funny. So you got like, I would say the big three of shot on video horror: America, Japan, Germany. Right? Those I would say are the three main players, right? And they're all very like distinct. The Japanese
Their own styles.
Yeah, like the Japanese stuff is like super high quality usually. Like I feel like it looks like it's always done by somebody who went to an actual film school, and like there's like a little bit of a budget or whatnot. I guess they understood that you can make money on the rental market with crazy shit like this.
The Japanese stuff is very hypersexualized in a lot of their movies.
Hypersexualized,
like most of their movies.
Hyper like insane violence in a lot of them. Like wait till
torture.
This is probably the most tame movie that we're gonna do all month.
It's a fun one, just to warm things up. You know,
but then like then you have like the German stuff. Usually looks like shit, but it's like over the top gore. The story is nonsensical. The acting is horrendous. It's
awesome
like
music though. Always got a great fucking soundtrack,
but it's insanely entertaining. For what the amateur nature of it is like part of the whole thing. And I feel like the Americans were like a mix of the two. Like,
oh, for sure.
Not like the actual video quality wise and everything, the final production, not quite to the Japanese standard, but like they still had that like weird fucking low budget, like shitty basement tape type thing. You know what I mean? Like it's so
the gamut here. Because we have such a bigger, pool from like of filmmakers that were doing it, I think in America between the 80s that we know of anyways. We have a handful of German, shot on video directors that we're really big into that we know about and watch and stuff. And, we're really getting into the Japanese stuff. But like, I just feel like the amount of people doing it here, you get such a large variety and a large crapshoot of really, really good. And then, really fucking bad.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that where like you kind of said, like the Japanese stuff is so dialed in that even like the shorts that are like 20, 30 minutes are like fucking pieces of art. Is as violent and as sexual as they are. They're pieces of fucking art, man. It's crazy.
Well, one thing I will say to you, because I've been doing a lot more research into this for this month and watching a lot of shit I probably wouldn't have watched otherwise. There is a ton of shot on video Japanese stuff that you have definitely never heard of. But I will say the caveat is it's like a 50% horror, 50% like porn type deal. Like it's such a strange like subgenre that they had over there. I don't know what it is. Like it's very, but then you have stuff like when we do biotherapy, like you're going to see like it's far better than it should be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just wild stuff. But so the second patient that we have in this film, he has an uncontrollable, I guess, hand or twitch.
No, he has Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde condition, whatever they said, where he has split personalities and the one personality is hyper violent, basically.
Yeah, and you see like the hand is going fucking crazy. He's like all, anxious and nervous. And of course, the devil woman doctor is here to help, right? And she has a very unique way to treat his symptoms. And we're going to see with that clip here. Anytime I see any sort of stabbing with a utensil, I always just kind of cringe.
That's what it made me do too. Like, dude, especially like the second half of this clip, I'm just like, oh, fucking chills him. And it's not even like that bad, but for some reason, it feels like I'm experiencing this pain myself.
So she picks up a fork and stabs him in the bad hand. Goes right through into the table. He is like in shock and in disbelief. The hand, though, is staying still currently.
No longer attacking him, so she's helping.
He's all sweaty and shit. Like he looks like he just took a bath. And she pushes it in even fucking further. You see it start to bleed more.
Gets me every time.
I like eventually she starts flicking it when she's asking him questions and talking to him.
Yeah,
and he's like wailing every time she does it. She's like fucking flicking it. Then it ends up moving to his fucking leg. So she stabs the leg. And she basically just keeps stabbing this guy up until eventually she's like, you know what? Maybe we could just work with it. You ever try show business?
Dude, that's how like it's so dark comedy, but at the same time, it's so camp. It's just ridiculous on like the surface of it. Like they do stuff like that where it's like, oh, we're gonna show you this like super violent, attack from this doctor, but we're gonna finish it with like a show tune looking fucking person dressed up as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and shit. It's wild.
Doing like a mime type performance in front of a crowd who is loving it. So our next patient has a very unique type of tumor, and it basically just like looks like Belial. Right, like the basket case fucking
definitely has a basket case vibe to it.
Yeah. But he's got this like tumor on his stomach that is a face, and it's called
one of my favorites.
What does she call it? Fucking Hoppy Froggy Doggy syndrome or some shit. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
So weird.
Human face Whitlow. A face-shaped malignant tumor. This guy's got like a very 80s, like Yakuza looking jacket on. Actually, he is Yakuza.
Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah. It's very polite also, unlike the hand. That is the tumor speaking, and its mouth is actually moving as it's fucking talking. And
it's such a bad puppet. It's not much moving, but it's moving.
It's so fucking funny because the guy's a dick, but the puppet thing, like the stomach tumor, is very polite and nice. So eventually,
yeah, I did get that. It's pretty funny, actually.
She convinces him to maybe don't get rid of this tumor, and to take this act on the road. And they have a video of this guy dancing in public in like a square somewhere in Japan with his shirt pulled up over his head, making the thing's mouth move. People are putting their hand in it and stuff. You could see this was 100% just done like in some random spot with just random people like looking like, what the fuck is going on?
This was not planned.
All these tourists,
these are random passerbys and shit.
Dude, imagine being a tourist and like you're looking at pictures. Well, like you're looking at pictures of your parents who went to Japan in the 80s. It's a picture of like your mom with her hand in this guy's stomach. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's
That'd be actually hilarious.
That's actually fucking awesome. I really like this segment. It's really fun. There's no gory shit. It's just like super weird. It's just really like off the wall. The more I think about it, this is like the perfect thing to follow up cutting moments with.
It's almost like a Japanese like brother or sister movie to like something like that in a way. And it really does take you from like that kind of weirdness to like gory as fuck, man. It takes you to both places. And those are the two best kind of, and it's just like cutting moments did. It take you to these really weird oatmeal fucking possession movie, all the way to like something like the actual, cutting scenes clip, which was just brutal insanity. If you guys haven't gone back and just watched that one, segment alone of that movie, you need to do yourself your favor and go back and watch it. It's one of the hardest things I think I've watched in a long time, dude. Like legitimately tough to get through at certain points.
Alan Cantation says Quado from Total Recall. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Quaid. So I believe the next segment is the cannibal segment. It's not actually a cannibal. It is a buffet set up for cannibals. This reminds me of something that would have been at like a camp video premiere. You know what I mean? Like when they used to do those like things.
Video violence.
Yeah,
100%.
If you're watching this, which you can do every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or go to our YouTube channel and watch previous live streams, you'll see how cheesy or I guess over the top, funny or slapsticky, or I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. This segment is. It does not look real at all. The real highlight is the commentary done by the newscaster as he's like kind of describing what the deal is. So let me roll that. Yeah, so they have like eyeballs, and there's a jellied eyeball with a cockroach in it.
They just left the cockroach.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking, Halloween store fucking cockroach. Same thing with this eyeball with the fly. The fly looks straight out of a fucking like quarter machine. The fake hand with the intestines, which are, it's just actually a big sausage.
Dude, this was my favorite, the fucking salad.
The extreme, yeah, that looks like the zombie chef from hell fucking cover.
Yeah.
It looks very similar. Yeah.
And it goes on, and they have like, deep fried testicles, and fucking all. Dude, they get crazy with all the different shit they got on this table, and that's really the whole segment. It's just like this, like pseudo newscast of them, coming to this first ever cannibal tasting that they're putting on for the public to just come and enjoy. Like, if you're interested in coming to try human flesh, we've prepared all these different.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the sequence, like the leftovers of the body are like put on display in the middle of the table, and it's just like a half a torso with just guts pouring out of it. It's so fucking cool, man.
And then you see the devil woman doctor, but it's not actually the devil woman doctor. It's a cleaning lady. But I like how they interview her, and they're like, "Have you ever tried human flesh?" And it's like, "I haven't, but I believe my dad did during the war." It's like, oh my god. But I thought that segment was fun. It's very light. It's quick. That one's only like 2-3 minutes long. Just kind of like almost like an interlude, I would say. And that brings us to one of my favorite segments of this, and that's the zombie boyfriend / husband segment. We don't have a clip from this one, but I would
honestly say I didn't know what clip would be the best one for this one to take, because I mean, it's not like it doesn't have any like big moments of like hilarity, I mean, that's a little bit, but it's more of just like watching this boyfriend decay over this, like the time period of the entire sketch kind of a thing,
Yeah.
So I felt it would be hard to like really capture what was so funny about this thing, because it really takes a while for like the whole joke to set in for me throughout this thing,
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it starts off with the devil woman doctor saying that like she was unfortunately too late to help this one, and then like they show the story, and he is a zombie and he keeps getting worse and worse and worse, but his wife's I guess it's his wife, because I think they say that they're married at one point.
Yeah, I believe so.
His wife sticks by him the whole time, and there's one scene where he's out with the cleaning lady who is actually the wife's mom, and it's the devil woman doctor, obviously. And they're drinking and eating in like this like little restaurant type thing. For whatever reason, it's like super unsettling. Like, cause he's like,
decayed.
Yeah, he's like fully decayed, but nobody acts like anything is wrong. They just say like, "Oh, you're starting to smell." Nobody's like running away. Nobody's like screaming.
Yeah.
He doesn't eat anybody. He doesn't do anything like that. It literally is just like a quote unquote love story, but the guy's a zombie.
A day in a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
like I said, the whole gag of it really is when we first see him, he looks semi-normal. He's got a couple of, facial abrasions and stuff like that, but he doesn't look decayed at all. He looks like a freshly dead guy. And he's talking to his wife about how he can't go in and take a shower because like chunks of flesh are starting to fall off of him and shit.
Yeah.
So like that was really like the buildup of being like, okay, we see him as like freshly dead, kind of passable in a way, to that scene you're just talking about in that restaurant where it's a borderline mummy fucking sitting there like having dinner with them.
And there's like little subtitles. It doesn't have an English subtitle, but it kind of gives you like a percentage of his decay, right? Like as the percentage goes up, he obviously looks worse and worse. And eventually it just kind of, there's like no real definitive ending to it. It's just like they leave the restaurant and that's really it. Right? Like that
was really it. I was like, what next? I thought there was going to be like an ultimate like meltdown of his body or something at the end, but
no, that's I kind of like that. So the next segment is a very strange one. This one is the abandoned organ segment, where this woman is walking by and she thinks there's a kitten, I guess, a abandoned kitten in a basket. And it turns out to just be a pile of fucking organs that are sentient.
Roaming the streets.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird.
And it's basically like a dark city chase with these organs chasing this young woman. And eventually the devil woman doctor comes to save the day. Right? And she's able to catch this organ in like a fucking Rubbermaid container.
Yeah, it's very like Dead Alive with the organ monster
flying around
movie. It's very similar, but this is just like, it's gross looking, dude. It's pretty gnarly.
The music is good in this. That
sets a mood for sure.
Yeah. So she like sees this thing. I have no idea what that note says, but she opens the. It's just a mass of organs, and it just jumps into her hands.
Jumps in her head.
Yeah, she's like, screams and runs. I like how I wonder how they did that.
I was thinking the same thing. Maybe it's on a string and they're pulling it along or something.
Yeah, it has to be like a fishing line or something, but it just kind of like slides across the ground till it eventually just kind of gets tossed by somebody off camera against something. It's
That's the whole thing. I mean, it's really not anything longer than that.
It's a fun segment. It's quick. She doesn't get killed by it or anything, which is kind of interesting because, the guinea pig movies are known for their brutality, their violence and all that stuff. But this one, like, it's not like the other ones where the women are getting fucking killed and all them. It's the men in this one that are all getting fucking destroyed. Think about it.
It is the big difference because usually the other way around in a lot of these Japanese movies, it's typically not this way. So this is kind of a fun. I wonder if it's even like a play on some of that to be like, this is all we make. Let's let's do the opposite here, kind of thing.
Well, like you said, like before, like you watch movies like fucking Guzu and all that shit. Like it's the girl getting fucking felt up by this fucking monster and all that stuff. Like it's all shit like that. And this one, and in this one, it's the guys that are getting fucking cut up, beat up, bloodied, and all that. It's really kind of funny how they turn it around, and I like it. I really kind of like seeing it that way.
This next segment here with the tattoo, man.
Well, the next segment is the guy with the vomit and the sweat.
Oh, the blood sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was another quick one too, where this guy basically is like, whenever he sweats, he bleeds out of his fucking sweat pores because he has too much fucking blood in him.
Yeah, it's too much blood.
So the doctor's like, we got to get rid of some of your excess blood, and he's like, oh, you're gonna pump it out of me? She's like, no.
No, she says no. That's too much work.
Such a good answer.
So instead, she pulls like a Freddy Krueger or something. Just kind of snaps her fingers, and this guy just turns into a blood fountain. That hair.
Killing it.
This guy's like he looks like a Japanese salaryman. She snaps his her fingers.
This spit up is just great.
His like blood to shirt contrast is fucking wild.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like super red.
Playing this in, it's not like complete slow motion. It's kind of like a quarter speed or whatever that they're doing on it. It just kind of adds this awesome like full like retch effect whenever that fucking blood's coming out. It looks way more violent than it really is.
Yeah, then eventually, like at the end, he just like pukes onto the fucking camera, right? Like directly in front of it. I loved it. I love this one. It's super short, but it has probably nothing on the ending of the next segment, and that is the tattoo removal.
So this is kind of funny because basically the doctor is seeing a patient who has a tattoo that has become sentient. Basically, it moves around its body. It changes its shape. It at one point it goes into the guy's asshole and then comes back out and points at it and shit. Like, it's such a weird segment. But her solution is to fucking don this Freddy Krueger glove. Another Freddy, thing going on here. The last segment and this one, and she puts this razor blade glove on and she basically says, look, I'm going to fucking remove this tattoo. And, she has to chase it around a little bit to get the job done, but she ultimately does a pretty good job, I think.
So she's chasing this thing around, cutting pieces off with her Freddy glove. And unfortunately, she goes a little too far, though. He sits up. He's completely skinned. He looks like fucking Uncle Frank, but more gruesome. That's a pretty fucking gruesome looking corpse there, man. Yeah, like the way his like eyes are and the teeth. That's the one thing the Japanese do like really well in this is like the zombies always have the receding gums and everything. I
think they have a much better understanding of like the human anatomy and all that kind of stuff, man. They really fucking nail it when it comes to those things. All their prosthetics and everything always look fucking spot on.
Yeah, and I really like the whole like the white surgical room and everything, and this dude's sitting naked, hanging dong on the fucking table, and she's just cutting him up, and it's
wild ass tattoo.
It's really funny because everybody like who ends up getting like killed or whatnot in this movie, like nobody's trying to get away. You know what I mean? Everyone just kind of sit there and just kind of like, oh shit, and that's it. Like it's really funny. It's super light. This movie's
so matter of fact what's happening.
Yeah, this movie's super fucking light.
It's very clinical in that way, where it's not like you're seeing kind of a conflict or anything. It's like you're seeing a doctor treat a patient or a group of patients.
Yes.
Like it's super fucking clinical like that.
Yes. And speaking of groups of patients, we're on to our last segment here. And that's these four gentlemen who each have very interesting, what do you want to call it? Problems? Ailments? Or whatnot?
Ailments? Yeah, I think that's the ailments, yeah.
Yeah. You got one guy who's able to stretch the skin on his body, including his nipples, moles, and his penile area. Yeah, he had
oh my God.
He had like one of those like the balloon animal balloons, like for a nipple, basically. One guy emits he leaks air from his body, and he shows this by smoking a cigarette, and the cigarette smoke kind of emits from under his shirt. The other dude his
heart moves around.
Yeah, his heart moves around his body. There's another guy who is decaying, like his feet are like rotting away. But he also, there's a guy who pukes up an egg that has puke in it, vomit in it. But then there's an alien in the vomit, and then the other guy says, "I got you beat. I just shit out a monster." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Literally shit out a monster. Dude, this is where this movie really comes into its own.
He's got a Rubbermaid container. This thing looks like real shit too. It looks like actual shit. It's like kind of talking too. It's making like a, but the other side that has peanuts in it looks like the Deadly Spawn fucking alien.
It does look like the Deadly Spawn alien. Dude, I made that comparison also.
This movie's absolutely fucking wild.
So our 121 watts, man, if you go back in our catalog, you will find at least one of the 731 unit movies in there. What did we do?
We did Men
Laboratory of the Devil.
No, we did Men Behind the Sun.
Men Behind the Sun,
yeah,
correct. Yeah,
Laboratory of the Devil's good. That's the sequel. Very similar to Men Behind the Sun. Black Sun.
The train one, is that the third? The third one is the one on the train where like the whole train gets fucking diseased and shit like that.
Oh,
I think that's part 3.
Is part
almost possible.
Which one is fucking Black Sun Nanking Massacre? That's a fucked up one. Maybe that's 4.
4. I believe that's the after the train one. So
yeah,
but also to Machiavelli 420, dude, you got to get on the Unearthed Films, Guinea Pig series, man.
Yeah.
Bouquet of guts and gore. I would definitely recommend starting there if you're into that like classic guinea pig type of like weird, snuffy, torture-y kind of thing. That's definitely a great place to start. We just did Song of Solomon, another one of the Guinea Pig series. One of the wildest fucking exorcist movies you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, there's also Bloodshock and Sacrifice. Those are the other ones. Yep. I 100% think that they're doing a great job of, I guess, keeping like the spirit alive, way more like the first and second one. At least Bouquet of Guts and Gore and Blood Shock and Sacrifice, very similar to the first and second Guinea Pig.
Almost found footagey, but not. But it's like weird documentaries. Not even that. Just kind of like self-made footage of like torture situations,
like
that kind of thing. It's very much to that first two traditional Guinea Pig movies from Japan. That's kind of like the lineage I feel like they're trying to carry on. They do an amazing job.
Because then they did what's it called? Song of Solomon. It's like just like this. Like they went and did an actual, it's a more of a movie than just, violence on fucking camera. I really like it. I think they're doing a great job. I hope that they do more. I wish we could be in those movies somehow. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick. I would be in that, and I would love to be in a what's it called? What fucking movies have I been watching? Oh, it's gonna come to me.
You want to know what movie I always wanted to die in?
What?
Those fucking the ones where like just like random shit happens. Like isn't like Devon Sawa in them and shit?
Oh, Final Destination.
Final Destination. Yeah, I'd love to see like how I would die in a Final Destination. Yeah, it's a great film to die in.
You 100% would. You'd be hitting the bong. You're fucking.
I knew you're dead to nuts here. I can tell.
You'd be hitting the bong. While that's happening, Tater Tots fucking knocked over a water bottle, which spilled on the floor. You're going to slip as you're hitting it, and the bong is going to get fucking shoved through the back of your head as you hit the table. Boom.
Oh, dude, killed by what I love most. That's truly poetic, man. I like that.
And it's still going to be smoking when it comes out the back of your head. That's going to be the...
And then the fucking dog is like licking the bong water up.
Yeah.
After I'm laying there dead for like the extra effect.
Yeah. Smash cut. It finally came to me. Hotel Inferno 1 through 3. I've been watching those movies. First person, like a Doom type fucking movie. Just crazy gore, crazy violence. The story gets crazier and crazier. It's fun.
2000s?
What? 2000s.
What time period? Early 2000s?
Mid 2000s to current. They're still making them. There's a fourth in production.
Oh, nice.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But this movie, Guinea Pig Part 4, ends with a very light / fun, I guess, like a, not outtake, but it's pretty much everybody who worked on the film is like involved in this.
That's just kind of campy.
Yeah. And what they do is they give everybody an iron pie. So what this is like how you'd get like the cream pie, thrown in your face.
All about that,
yeah. Instead of that, it's a plate of nails. And everybody's getting smashed in the head, in the face, in the chest, and every time they get hit, like you see the blood splatter everywhere.
That's my favorite one in the fucking chin he gets it, dude.
Yeah, you could see like the nails bending as they do it too. There's one girl that they do it to, and she starts fucking laughing. And like at first, she's trying to like keep a straight face, like it's supposed to be kind of serious, and then she just can't. It's like so fucking ridiculous. Grizz, I absolutely love this movie. It is so much fun. It's not serious at all. The violence is like crazy at points, but it's like in a fun way, and it's not in like a, I don't know. It's fun. It's really just like a Peter Jackson movie, where like there's tons of gore and violence and stuff, but none of it seems mean. You know what I mean? Like none of it.
Oh yeah. No.
Like you wouldn't watch this and have a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Like it's not scary. It's not. It's literally it's a slapstick horror comedy.
It's ridiculous through and through. Like there's nothing serious in this movie that would make you be like, oh, this isn't really that shocking, minus the fact that like, oh, there's a shit monster and stuff like that, and some dude pulls his like foreskin out like 5 feet from his body. Like other than that, there's like really nothing that's just like, oh my god, this is so violent and all that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but overall, I think this is a must watch. I would say that this might be a Bad Taste Video Hall of Famer. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that myself. I mean, this is killer, man. This is probably my favorite of the Guinea Pig series.
Yeah, eventually,
it really just hits my sensibility.
Eventually, we'll do part 3, and I'll be pumped. That's my favorite. That's a
I love
really
the
fun
mermaid in a
one.
manhole eventually too, man. It's a different direction, but I think it's a great entry into the guinea pig series.
Well, man, we got 6 movies, right? There's 6 of them that we could do. We got 2 of them
We'll
down,
spread them out.
4 to go.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of the American ones left. But Grizz, that brings us to next week, next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideo podcast. We will be covering the 1992 Japanese. I don't even know what the fuck you want to call this, but that's going to be all night long. Another movie that spawned multiple sequels. I have a couple of them. The second one is fucking wild. The third one's pretty wild. It gets, like everything else, turns more and more into like porn, I guess, as they go on through the numbers. But this one is where it started. This is just... It's not gonna fucking send you to the loony bin, but this kind of is a quite a different movie than Devil Woman Doctor.
Oh yeah, I mean I think this is a great introduction to like what the direction of like the Japanese stuff kind of goes in outside of like what we just watched, what we've been talking about with like the sexuality, the violence. It peaks in this movie a little bit, but it kind of shows what direction, especially this series, is going to go in the future. Because this, like you said, man, this series gets crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know. Can I show the? Yeah,
you got to be careful what you put up on there.
Will this go into? There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be a.
Let me read that to you guys here.
This is going to be a wild one. So yeah, it's going to be next Tuesday night at 9:00 on our YouTube channel. So Grizz, we're heading over to the wide world of metal right now, running a little late this time. Finally, man. We just really like these fucking Japanese horror movies. What can I say? So what do we have this week, Grizz?
Man, we're dipping into a band from Santa Cruz, California, I'm pretty sure it was, that to me, man, I've brought a lot of things to the table here. This might be my personal favorite.
Damn.
Like, dude, there's something about this band and the way that their music is composed. I told you, man, this is like listening to like Aborigines fucking tribal people playing death metal. It's wild. The band is called The Pigus. It's dude, the artwork for all the band stuff is amazing. The just like the conception of all the band stuff as far as like the names of their albums, their songs. I'm just absolutely fucking smitten with these motherfuckers, dude. Not to mention, it's got one of the most badass chicks on fucking vocals that you will ever fucking hear. This girl destroys on the fucking microphone, dude.
I didn't even know this was a female vocalist. Didn't even know.
You would never know. You would never know, dude.
Let's run the first song that we have here, Aqua Genesis. All their song titles are fucking awesome too in this, right? They all have really good names.
And this is off the self-titled as well. It's the Pigus album.
Also, by the way, this one's a ripper. Like everybody can fucking shred in this. Grizz, how do you spell it?
I will tell you right now. The name it's Dipygus. But it is pronounced Dipigus, which is actually like a deformity that you get when you were born with like extra legs and shit.
Oh, shit. See, these dudes like they shred. This artwork is fucking awesome too.
It is a shred.
I like the bass tone in this. This is one of the first albums where I was like, yo, the bass tone is sick.
Vocals just insane.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. It was so good that you actually glitched out for a second and like transported like slightly over to the right.
I thought I was stroking. It was wild. I'm coming back slowly.
Everything,
but dude, like you just said, the bass tone. Holy fuck, man! The bass in this album is probably the best part. This album,
and it sticks out, which is great. It like really sticks out, which is unlike a lot of these albums, like where you kind of feel it. Like this, you can actually hear what the fuck this dude is playing. Which is great.
Dude, I feel like this bass almost sits on top of the mix, even more so than the vocals do at certain points. It really like sets itself apart.
Yeah, It's got really great production. Yeah.
It's a fucking 4-piece, which is fucking crazy,
sick.
dude.
That's awesome. And she just sings, only sings.
She sings.
That's
only
awesome.
sings, man.
That's awesome. The next song we have is Okapi Skunk Ape. Is that what, Okapi?
I think that's probably what you. Yeah.
Okapi Skunk Ape. The shit.
I knew this was gonna be like right up your alley too.
I love this. I want to see this live. This is sick.
Continuing. The way they come out of this too.
That bass. Dude, what the fuck is this, man?
Dude.
What genre would you? It's like death metal, obviously, but like.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on sometimes, man, because it's like it is death metal 100%, but it's like it's so original, it's so unique. There's a fucking like an 11 or 12 minute song on here that is like mind blowing. Like it's awesome death metal at parts, and then it kind of goes into this like weird tribally fucking thing in the middle, dude, and it's like got synth layers on it and shit.
This shit
amazing band.
Not necessarily like exactly sound wise, but just like when I listen to it, has the same feeling as like fucking King Gizzard, where I'm like, what genre is this? You know what I mean?
That's
like
a great comparison though.
Like it sounds like metal, like it sounds like death metal, but then like it does this. Like what the fuck is this?
In the way that they switch from like one part to another, it's so like just an original idea of how they put this stuff together, where it's like it's unexpected, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Every like turn in a song that it shifts to, I was like, dude, I didn't fucking expect that to happen at all. And then like it shifts back to something that's like but it all fits so well that like each song kind of tells this wild fucking story. And dude, like I said, the concepts behind their songs and stuff, if you look into this band at all and you read into some of like, they have like certain like they have like a song called like Point Pleasant, West Virginia, all about like the fucking the Mothman and shit like that, dude. Like so like they have these different location songs and stuff, and just it's really fucking fun death metal at the heart of it. I think that's why I'm so drawn to it.
Yeah,
it's well thought out. It's fucking well executed, and it's original as fuck, man.
Yeah. And the last clip we have here is from Perverse Termination, which is actually probably the most normal song title on this album.
By far.
See, like this shit is almost like black metal.
That shift right there, we like never see that coming.
I can't get over the artwork. I'm like looking at all the faces of the things, like the monsters and shit.
All the monsters, yeah.
The cave people.
I believe it's Six Slice that does all the fucking the artwork for them and shit like that. This band is heavily influenced by horror movies, man. They got a great live video up from that they put together, dude, that just features like Deadly Spawn clips and shit like that, dude. Like it's
our people, baby.
Yeah, they're dialed in, man. They're definitely our people. Like I said, the band is called The Pigus. This album is their self-titled album, but they have a huge catalog. They put one out last year called Wet Market. That fucking album is it's incredible, dude. I'm telling you, like this one is amazing, dude. Wet Market, I think, is a really fucking solid album. They did a split album, Oasis of the Zombies. You should listen to that track.
I'll check that out.
We'll get into
Alan Cantation,
and then they did another one. What was that?
New Ghoul EP.
Oh, dude, yeah, Ghoul fucking rips too, man. I haven't even thought about that band in a few years. I used to see him with Guar like all the fucking time back in the day.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Guar, like back when like Dave was alive, they fucking toured with him and shit, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
But yeah, like I said, also another album this band has, Bushmeat. I think that's one of their original fucking albums, man. And dude, like I said, this everything is just so conceptually fucking awesome with the Pigus. I'm kind of like fangirling over it because, like I said, this is probably a new obsession of mine. This is going to be a new favorite band for a while.
Can't beat Acid Mass for me, man. Sorry.
It's our boy, dude.
So yeah, dude, this was fucking awesome. This week was awesome, man. Good movie, good album. 2 heavy recommendations. But Grizz, I think our time is up. I see the I'm getting
Right on time still, baby.
I'm getting the signal from the producer over there, aka
Cut it short, baby.
I see fucking Elvis Presley sitting in the corner as ghost.
He has a mirror across from himself and he's looking at it.
Waving at me, going like this. Wrap it up. But Grizz, next week we're going to be doing all night long, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastesvideopodcast. Please subscribe, follow us, like our videos. Go watch the old live videos too. Anything that you hear on the podcast stream, we well, not everything, but really within the last how many episodes we've done it live. You could see the clips. We're coming up to episode 300. We're gonna have to think about something for that. But before we get
the hog on for 300, dude,
we may have to pull out all the stops for that one. Grizz, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Cade_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video. And you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideopodcast.com. What did I say? www.badtastevideopodcast.com. Yeah, now I say it and I don't even fucking think about it. We have a Patreon if you want to just kind of donate money to us so I can pay the bills and it doesn't have to come out of my pocket anymore. That's fucking great. But we do have some stuff up there. I'm going to put a couple more things up this week that I recently acquired. And I don't want to get in trouble by putting it on the YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for listening at home, though. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the chat room to talk with us. Alan Cantation, you fucking rule.
You guys ruled.
Yep. Want to shout out all our friends, Lasergrave Podcast, EK, what's up, dog? He's got an album that he's... Did you see the gold
blood
cassette?
relation stuff, right?
Yeah, dude, that gold... I love the gold cassettes, man. That's such a good fucking idea. His like
fancy boy,
dude. His fucking like the layout and like the actual like the what do you call that? Yeah, well, like the design of his.
They're fucking.
It's fucking awesome.
They're actually artists. They're fucking legit artists over there, boy. They're doing what they're doing.
That's it, man. That's it. Dead with My Friends podcast. They're putting out a new episode by the time you listen to this.
Yeah, the first one of 2024, I believe. Yeah. So fucking definitely check our boys out over there.
I believe it's The Thing, right? Is that what they're covering?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Booyah. But I want to
listen to their episode and then go listen to our episode right after. How about that? Double fucking whammy.
So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next week with All Night Long. And if you're going to watch it ahead of time, don't watch it with your kids and probably don't watch it with your parents and or people that don't watch fucked up horror movies already. All right. See you next week. Goodbye.